Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Boone here from EWPRO. So I'll show you what I'm looking at again this week. On start with the DXY. So the DXY, we've just about broken this low. We're very close to breaking it on the Z, for the Z down. We go down to the H4. I'll just adjust this to the low. So as you can see, we haven't quite broken that low yet. It's very close, but it hadn't broken. I'll just get my pen. So we got a sharp move down, quite a sharp move up. This can be a flat in here, and this is the last move down because we're going to get that bullish divergence, or we get a flat, like this is the impulse, this is the correction, and then get another impulse up for more downside, which will turn this whole thing into a larger correction before more downside. Really, I'm only looking for the buys. You don't want to be selling down here. It's crazy. As soon as this low gets broken, we're going to get that bullish divergence on the daily. You definitely don't want to be trading against that. On the H1, like I said, we got this sharp move up here. So this can be an A, B, C for a running or expanding flat, and then give us one more down. So you'll have to be careful of that. We do have a cross, and we are getting bullish divergence. So you definitely can take any buy setup you get. I'll just draw the trend line here. So we do have a trend line. Any break out of here, little flag, look for the buy. Yeah, so I'm only looking for buys. If you get any sort of buy setup, we have that bullish divergence in play. Hopefully this does go down and breaks this low, because then we can call it the Z down for the daily, and then we should get a nice retrace. So look for that buy. I'd be looking for that buy. AU on the daily. So the daily, like I've been saying for a while now, I'm looking at this as an A, B, C, then we get that A, B, C. This can be over. This can be the A, B, C here. For the B wave, I don't really like it, just because of the price action, what the price action's done. If we go down to the H4, that's why I'm looking for that larger correction. If we go to the H4, I'm looking for this like running flat structure in here. So we get the A, B, C in the B, and then we get that C down for a running or expanding flat. We sort of need that, really need this down before we can look for buys. We're getting bearish divergence, so it's very risky to be buying these little flags. If I put this other So we must be getting very close to the 100 fib here. So we're at that 100 fib. The only way I can really rule this structure out, so if it gets to this 161.8, then I can sort of rule it out. This flat as a running flat, and this was all the correction. This here was all the correction. Or you could look at it like, you know, some sort of a flat in here, like a oh, that's not a very good line. A contracting flat in here. Contracting flat, if it is this contracting flat, you know, virtually impossible to trade these contracting flats. They can turn into so many different other waves. They're very difficult to trade. I'm looking for structures I can trade. And for me to trade this, I want this C down, and then I'll look for the C up to buy. So I'm looking at this structure. If we go down to the H1, I don't think there's a sell set up there yet. No, there's no sell set up there yet. It's sort of giving another little bullish flag here. But we are getting bearish internal divergence. So any sort of sell setup I'd be taking. We can look at this as an A, B, C in here for more upside as well. So you may have to look at this here as a possible structure to finish off this move, as a running flat in here, get one more up, and then give us that bearish divergence. Then we'll get that bearish divergence there with the one down here and then another one up. Then look for the sells. If you're looking for the sells, like I said, you will have to watch for this structure here as a bullish running flat, or it may turn into expanding as well. It'd be good if it does turn into expanding, if this isn't the top. So then we can definitely get it to break even. And yeah, because if it's just going to be a running flat, you'll have to watch out for this trend line, and yeah, move it to break even if you're in the short. EU. So again, this one here, we can look at that AB as the B wave, like I've been saying, because we did have that bullish divergence. To go and break this top in a C wave, if we go down to the H4, sort of looking at this structure here. Again, not sure why I'm not. Why everything's disappeared off my charts, but so I'm looking for this. I'm looking for a flat in here as well. This is quite choppy. We have a larger correction in here. So I'm looking at A, B, C in the B wave before we get the A, B, C down. Again, it's very tricky because this can be a contracting flat in here. This wave here, this is what I was looking for to go and break this low to give us that A, B, and the C. If we had that A, B, C, it would have been nice, because then we could have all looked for that buy and we wouldn't have to look at this more complex, possible more complex correction. So now again, pretty much the same as AU, I have to roll this out as the flat if price goes up to this 161.8, then we have to look at it as that contracting flat, and this will more than likely be an A. That's the A, B, and this is the C for more downside. We'll just have to wait. If we get a bearish setup, I'd be looking for the bearish setup. We do have that bearish divergence. H1, okay, we had this nice little flat in here. There's a little flat in there. I'm only looking for sells. I didn't take it. I got into the sell on the idea that I put out on TradingView up around here somewhere. That turned into a break-even trade. I'm only looking for the sells. We won't be getting any bearish. We've lost the bearish divergence in here. So you can look for the buys. Let's get this trend line. You can look for the buys. They're very risky, but if you do get a bullish, like little bull flag or something in here, you could look for that buy targeting that 161.8. Very risky, but you know, this, like I said, this may be the contracting flat. What I showed you on the H4, and this does go up to that 161.8. For me, I would rather see that contracting. I'd rather see this C down for the running flat before I look for that longer term buy. That's the safest option. So up here, I'm only really looking for that sell. GU, pretty much the same. I'll go to the daily. So the daily, like I've been saying for ages, I'm looking at this A, B, C. I want this C down, but it may not be ready yet, because when we look on H4, we're getting this in here. But overall, even if this goes up here, breaks, even if it breaks at top, I'm still looking at all this as the B wave, and we'll get that C down. So I'm really if you go to the H4, there is this possibility of this flat here for more upside. A, B, C for an expanding or running flat, and then we get that C up, internal C up. So it'll be an A, B, and a C. To finish off this, if you get a little flag in, if you get a little flag in here, I'd be looking for the sell. Even if it doesn't go, I'll sort of be targeting the 100 fib. Okay. So the first target, I'll be targeting this 100 fib. As soon as this 100 fib gets hit, you definitely want to be moving to break even. And yeah, if you're going to hold for that daily C down, you know, you definitely want to be at break even and then just let it run, because like I said, there is this possible flat here. If this flat does turn out and we get a wave down and another wave up, So if we get a wave down, another wave up, then you can draw the trend line, then wait for the larger trend line break correction, and then look for that the daily C down. So it's quite tricky. There is this possible flat here, so you'll have to be aware of that if you're looking for that daily C down. NU. So NU, I've had to change account on this because it's just kept on going up. So I'm looking at it as an A, B, C. What messed me up here was this here. We had 5 up. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, and I was looking for an A, B, C. We didn't get that in here, so I've had to change this count. As this is the larger correction, and we're getting that C up now. We will get divergence, like we are getting divergence. Whether it gets to this 100 fib or not, we don't know. If we go down to the H4, it's going to be risky to sell this. This is definitely motive. This was a large correction in here. Usually these large corrections, when they're like this, they don't go. This one did. So we got a WXY. I'm looking for this X2, and then we get that Z up. Whether you want to trade this X wave, it's going to be difficult to trade, especially if it's going to be something like this. You know, it's going to be real difficult to trade. But whatever sort of correction we get in here, actually, I might go over to here. So I'm looking for this X wave before look for that buy. Like I said, it may be quite tricky to trade this X2 in the sell. We just don't know what sort of correction it's going to be. But we're looking at that timeline. Hopefully it's just a sharp move down, gives us a nice B wave. Then we can sell that C down and then look for that buy. At this stage, H1, there's a lot of bearish divergence. Again, this may give a flat here. See, we got this sharp move down here, and then a sharp move down there. So we can look at that as maybe the flat in there, or we may get another possible flat here. So really want to see this trend line break. Want to see this trend line break, little flag in here to look for that sell for the A wave down. On the H4. So that's what I'll be looking for. I'm not looking for the buys at all at this stage. Yeah. UI. So UI is pretty difficult. It can break this low, like I've been saying for, well, ever since up here somewhere. And I put the idea out for the bear hidden. So this low can get broken. At this stage, we're getting that internal bullish divergence. So you don't really want to be selling down here. We didn't get this cross. What I am looking at this as W, X, Y, X, Z. We didn't get the cross up here. It was very close, but didn't quite get it. I still am looking at it this way. It won't matter if it's not, and even if this is just a wave Y, it won't really matter to what we're looking at, because if that's the end of wave Y, well, then we're still going to get this correction, more upside for the X2 before we get that Z down and break that low, if that's the structure that it possibly could be. I'm looking at it as this as the B wave. It's still not confirmed that this Z down is over. So there is no confirmation this Z down is over. But I'm only looking for buys. We have that internal bullish divergence on the daily. H4, we didn't have, the thing that I don't like about this, we never got that bullish divergence here. And then we got this higher high here. I'm looking at it as an A, B, C in here for an expanding flat. If we go down to the so in here, I'd be looking for the buy. We did try to break it here. If I zoom in a bit, we are getting, on the H1, we are getting this bull hidden here. So I dare say we would get A, B, C. I'd be looking for that C up, or be only looking for that buy. We do have that bullish hidden. Tried to break the trend line here, didn't quite. This is sort of looking bearish here still. May get another one down, break the low, and then go. So you'll have to be a little careful. Wait for a nice setup before you look for that buy. USDJPY. So USDJPY is tricky again too, because we lost the bullish divergence, but we got a nice sharp move up. Then I was just looking for an A, B, C. It's starting to break that 100 fib now. We have no bullish divergence. We've lost the bullish divergence. So I'm looking at this as a wave Y. So we may get the WXY XZ, go and break this low for a running flat before we get more downside as a larger flat in here. I did put this idea out on TradingView to look for that C up, even if this it was giving bullish divergence in here at the time, but when I put the idea out. But either way, even like I said, even if this breaks the low, it's still going to be a B wave, and we get that A, B, C before we get more downside. If it breaks this low, well, it's going to be an A, B, C for a running or expanding flat, and we get lower low. I'm only looking for buys. I mean, we're at a low, so if you get the X wave, you can look for the scalp Z down. But yeah, you'll have to be careful. The way I trade this now, if we don't get the X, you'll have to wait for the trend line break and the flag out here before you can buy for the C up. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to trade than when I actually put the idea out. But that's what price has given us, so that's what we have to go with. UCAD. UCAD, I'm looking for this. I'll put this idea out too. I'm looking for this A, B, C. Again, this low can be broken in a B wave. So you have to wait for your setup. Go to the H1. It's becoming very deep, this correction. Should take some of these off. So we're down at the 78.6 fib. We're getting bullish divergence on the H1. So that's really good. So yeah, we got that bullish divergence. So yeah, wait for the trend line break, little flag, and look for that buy. Yeah, targets on the H4. I'll just adjust that target. Well, most of my charts didn't save for some reason, so I'll have to put it back on again. So, so this is your first target here, the 100 fib, and your second target will be that 161.8. In case this turns, if this low gets broken in the B wave, you want to take it all off at the 100 fib, because the 100 fib will be down here somewhere below this wave A high. So it'll be a running flat more than likely, or may turn expanding. If this low does get broken, I'd be using the 100 fib as the first target and your 123.6 as a second target. GY, sorry I forgot to do GY last week, but nothing had changed, so the structure is still the same. I was looking for this down as this. So if you went to the week before, you would have seen that nothing changed. We're getting this C down in the X2 before we get that Z up. So if we go down to the H1, so where was the high? The high is, so this is the high over here. So now we're getting bull hidden here. So you will have to be careful shorting this now until that low gets broken. But it's more than likely just going to be an A, B, C. This may turn into a contracting flat. This low here may only just get broken for the C down. It may not break this low because we do have that possible bull hidden here. Yeah, I'd be more inclined. What's happening on N15? Yeah, we've got no bullish divergence. So if you get little flags, you can sell them, but you're going to have to be careful. You've got your trend line. So if you're looking for the sell, well, at this stage, if you're looking at this A, B, C, for an A, B, C in here, you can only sell below this low here. And because this is a sharp spike up, it's not really going to give you the risk reward. So I'd leave that one anyway. But yeah, if you're looking for the sell, you'd have to put a sell stop just under the low. If you're looking for the buy, I'd wait. Hopefully this does go up here, gives us a cross, and then comes down and gives us that bullish divergence, and then look for the trend line break, bull flag, correction, and look for that buy. Yeah, that's what I'd be looking for at this stage. Ideally, we do get this C down, nice, lot deeper C down, because the 100 fib here for this C down is over here. So yeah, hopefully we do go and break these lows, then we'll get that bullish divergence, and we should get a nice trade out of it. A lot safer buy setup, you know? Gold. So gold hit the target. If we go H1, the daily, like I've been saying on the weekly, I might as well run over it again. But on the weekly, we're looking for this. We're looking for this large correction here. So we're going to be in this correction for a long time. Look, for it. So this can go on for quite some time. And who knows what sort of correction it's going to be. But it is going to be a correction in the X. We haven't crossed down this wave Y. May not be over. There's no confirmation that this wave Y is over yet, but I dare say it is, and we are looking at the larger correction. Looking for that correction. On the daily, see, this was the targets for that weekly. I did put out a weekly gold idea a long time ago, and the first target was the 38.2, so that would have been hit. I'll just remove that. And the second target was that 38.2, so the 38.2 is not far off of getting hit either. But on the daily, we've lost the divergence, so I'm looking at W, X, Y, X, Z, possibly some sort of a complex correction in here. But this can turn, because there's a lot of time span that we're looking at, this can basically do a correction after a correction after a correction after a correction until it's all over, and then it goes. So looking at the daily now, settings. So the 161.8 is right down here. But yeah, the 100 fibs around here. So we'll just have to watch these levels to see if we got no bullish divergence. So I dare say we're going to get another X and then a Z down on the daily. This trade here, it's hit the target at the 100 fib now. This is a WXY. This one here, again, I'll just remove this one. Getting too many fibs on here. Settings. So this may keep on dropping down. It sort of bounced off this 100 fib here. So it may be over, but it may still come down to this 161.8 or the 123.6 in here somewhere. Just have to see how far this goes now. if we go to the H1, it's looking like this wave is over now. Or on the H1, actually, we can put it over here. So on the H1, we got a WXYXZ. We're getting that bullish divergence. Wherever this wave Z ends, that will be the end of this wave Y, and then we'll get that larger X2, wherever that happens over here. So we got bullish divergence. It's going to be tricky because it's going to be a correction, a H4 correction after this Z's over. So for the buy, we do have bullish divergence. So if you get a trend line break, flag or correction in here, you definitely can look for that buy. Your target will be the 38.2, which will be in here. So this will be your target here, your first target here. Then you could probably use this as your second target, the 50 fib if you wanted to. But usually we just get 3 up and then more downside. So you'll have to be careful if you're holding. If you're holding long term or to break the top or something, well, yeah, just take half off at the 100 fib and let it go. But I'm more inclined to, this is going to be, like I said on the weekly, this is going to take a long time, a couple of years to play out, and it's going to be choppy. So I'd be taking profits, scalping, yeah. So that'd be your first target for this H1. But you have to wait for the setup. You definitely have to wait for a nice setup. Get the nice breakout. Doesn't matter where the flag is. It has to be outside of the trend line, mate. More than likely turn out to be something like this, perhaps. We'll have to see. But if you get the buy setup, I'll be taking the buy setup if I see it. WTI. So this one here, we're getting this bearish internal divergence between here and here. So I'm looking at it as a possible A, B, C for a running or expanding flat before we get more upside. I'll put this idea out. First target is this 100 fib, and the second target's 161.8. If we go onto the H1, this top here may get broken because we do have a WXY X Z. We may get that Z up to give us that bearish divergence. If this top here gets broken, definitely want to look for the trend line break, bear flag, and sell, because we're more than likely get a nice impulse down in the H4B wave. So this A, B, C, probably get another one down here, and then it'll go. You probably could scalp Depends what sort of structure you get in here and what sort of buy setup. But yeah, you sort of got to wait for the larger correction, because this here looks like an A, B, C. So you have to be careful for the A, B, C, one more down before it goes and breaks the top for the Z. But yeah, it's going to be hard to trade that Z up, because the Z wave can just break that top and then fall over straight away. So Z waves are quite risky, but sometimes they do give really nice trades too. So yeah, if you're looking for the buy, I'm more interested in the sell at this stage, because it's way too high. It's getting overbought, and we do have that bearish divergence by the look of it here. So I'm looking for that A, B, C. If we get this C down, it's going to give us an opportunity to get in a really nice longer term buy. I don't like buying at highs, especially when there's divergence. So it becomes risky. I'd rather wait, or even stay out of the market. If I don't get this down, I'll just stay out of it. I won't be buying up here. I'll wait for this and then I'll buy, or I'll look for that sell. If you get the Z up, trend line break, flag, look for that sell. Bitcoin fell over. So if we look at the daily, so the daily is very similar to gold. We got this long correction here. I'm looking at this wave Y may not be over. There's no confirmation this wave Y is over yet, but I'm looking for a correction similar size to this. So I think we're going to be in a correction for a long time before we get that Z up, because I am looking for that Z up on the daily. But there's a time factor involved, and it's quite a big time factor. So if we have a look on the H4, we've got bullish hidden divergence. It's clear as, whether you take it from this low here or any of these, we've got that bull hidden. So more than likely, once this correction's over, we're going to get that Z up on the H4. To finish off that wave Y on the daily, if I can find that wave Y on the daily, but yeah, anyway. So if we look on the H1, what we can actually trade, there's a wave Y there. But yeah, if we look at the H1, last week or the week before, we had that nice impulse down, and we're getting a correction in here. So wait for this correction. We don't know what sort of correction this is going to be yet. It may be really deep, but or it may just just give us an ABC up here, and that's it. And then we get that A, B, C down. Ideally, this is what we want, so we don't have to wait forever to get it. At the moment, it looks like there's a buy set up on it. Sort of getting a little bull flag in here for an A, B, and a C. Little flag in there to finish off that wave C. Very risky. I'll be more inclined to wait for this top here to be broken. Look for a trend line break, bear flag, and look for the sell. The target. See, The targets is, I don't think you get the 100 fib. Like usually I go for the 100 fib, but you definitely want to be at break even at this 38.2 on the daily. You definitely want to be at break even if you're taking the short on the H1 for the C down to finish off X on H4. But usually I draw the fib wherever it ends. So ends around here somewhere. The wave B, the A, B, and I'll aim for that 100 fib for the target. You may not get it. I definitely would be at moving to break even on this 38.2 daily fib. So if you do get this short, yeah. But yeah, at this stage, you can only look for the short. It's not the H4 does have that ball hidden, but it's not confirmed. So we really need this like A, B, C on the daily, on the H1 before we can look for that ball hidden on the H4 for the Z up. And then you need that trend line break, a little flag or correction before you look for that buy. So it could take some time. SPX. So we've got the A, B, C as the contracting flat. Like I've been saying, I don't like them. Contracting flats are very hard to trade. Here we got we're getting a B wave and we're getting a C down. Hopefully we get that C down because then it'll give us something, a nice level to buy at. Up here, there was, I'm actually in the buy up here as well, but it's risky. It's at break even. But we had this flag. So we had this flag break here on the H1. As soon as I got this down here and it went back up again, I moved it to break even. So I'm at break even, but I'm looking for this A, B, C. It most likely won't get to the 100 fib, but really I only want to be looking for sells for that H4, A, B, C down. So ideally, I'm hoping, because we didn't have any bearish divergence. Oh, I think we did have bearish divergence here, but we have bearish divergence there. Yeah, we did. So we already have the bearish divergence. It's been a H4 that didn't have it. Oh no, H4 is just one wave. Yeah, so ideally we want this A, B, C. We want this top here to be broken. Give us that bearish divergence. Then trend line break, little flag, and look for that sell. Yeah, you don't really want to be buying up here unless it's quite risky, DAX. H4 looks like we're still in this rising wedge here. Definitely want the C down, the A, B, C down before you really want to buy. This should be good because you get a nice impulse up. Wait for that C down and then definitely look for that larger C up. At this stage on the H1, so we already had that bearish divergence and we never got the larger move down. We never got a larger move down here. Would have been nice if we got a larger move down there. for the C, then the buy setup, some sort of a buy setup down here, but I'd never done that. So now we really have to look at the A, B, C in here, go and break that top, give us even more bearish divergence. Then we can look for a trend line break and look for the sell, scalp sell, and then look for that larger C up to buy. At this stage, I wouldn't be buying this one like S&P. I wouldn't be buying it. We've got a lot of divergence, so it's very risky to buy. Looks like they did, was similar to S&P by the look of it. You did get a buy set up in here. If you're in this, you definitely want to be at break even, same as that S&P, to go and break that top. And it's only a scalp. As soon as this top gets broken, you know, take half off. It's only a scalp. Okay, so that's about it this week. We're getting into Christmas, into the festive seasons, so it's going to be quite difficult to trade, lower volume, etc. So trade safe. I hope you enjoyed this weekly outlook, and I'll see you out there next week. Enjoy.